Buildings, furniture, new outfits, spells, tool upgrades, food, recipes. Honestly, I could go on, but there are so many things you can buy in Moonlight Peaks, and if you're currently staring at a not so healthy gold balance, then don't worry, as I've tried and tested some of the best ways to make some serious money in this game so you can be frivolous with all of your spends. Because stamina is also a little bit of a battle in this game, I'm also going to give you some words of warnings throughout on what activities might not be the best use of your energy so that you can really kind of prioritize making sure your stamina is worth the reward at the end of it. Don't forget to also subscribe for more Moonlight Peaks content, but let's get into this video. So first off, we're going to start off with the easiest things that you can do early on in the game with little to no effort, and of course that means little to no stamina. Just a word of warning before we do get into this, I am a hoarder, and one of the things I like to do in life simulation games, which you may also want to follow the advice of, is keeping one or two of each item for gifts. And there is also a job request board in Moonlight Peaks, which I'll go into more detail later, but it is worthwhile taking advantage of that unlimited storage in your house and just have a couple of things stored behind just in case, because as you'll learn later, I did get bitten by this. Now, as a flower lover, I think this is the perfect place to start, and I love how abundant the flowers are in Moonlight Peaks, and even though I have decided to hoard a lot of them for furniture crafting later on, you could use these as a good way to start bankrolling your purchases. You will find flowers spread throughout pretty much the whole map. You will find them in the forest areas and also the marshes. You'll also find them down at misty shores, but I do have a tip. If you're out on a foraging adventure, be sure to check behind those trees too, as some will definitely be hiding. The flowers do sell for a relatively low amount of gold, but because of the volume that you can collect, they are really an effective way to kind of start making a little bit of money. And the bonus is, as I said, they take 0 stamina to collect. Another thing that takes 0 stamina to collect is shells. There are 2 key areas where the shells spawn. The first is conveniently located on your farm, and the second does take a little while to unlock. If you progress through the story and complete the Repair the Bridge quest, you will unlock the Misty Shores area, which, as the name does suggest, has a large beach area. Who would have thought it? Again, shells are going to be on the lower end when it comes to pricing. The prices generally range between 10 and 30 gold, but when you have a big bulk of them that you've gathered up from your foraging adventure, the price will add up and you will get a nice little bulk kind of reward there. Whilst out on your travels, you will also likely stumble across these spiral dig spots in the ground, and honestly, these are one of my favorite things. I love the element of surprise. This will take a little bit of energy to dig the spot, but you can also use your Hell Kitten once you've unlocked the transformation. The potential drops from these spots do vary greatly. They can include things such as basic resources, which isn't going to help your bank balance too much, but things such as seeds will. In the beginning, I was pretty much exclusively just planting seeds I had obtained from these dig spots, and not only did it save me money from not having to spend at Luna's shop, it also meant that I could make more money from the crops that I had grown from them. When digging these spots, you also have the chance to receive a smaller amount of gold, which isn't going to make you rich. I'm not going to lie to you here and say that it will. It's normally like 30 odd gold. It's not going to make a huge difference, but if you do get super lucky, there is a chance that you will receive the elusive diamond, which actually sells for a whopping 2,000 gold. Diamonds really are a girl's best friend. Now on to farming. The game actually subtly points us in the right direction of one of the most profitable ways to make money in the game, and that is by making wine. Very early on, we do learn about this as we follow the quest line with Orlok and having to make him the wine. You basically plant the grapes, put them into the keg, which you will need to craft at the crafting table, and then you sit back and wait for the money to make itself. This is something I have kept up with, and it's actually something I've expanded upon. I've expanded to a second keg, and I've also started to plant some white grapes as well, in the hope that that's going to make me some good money too. Having a second keg has definitely made it quicker, and it's also helped me when I have variations that are maybe the base level and also the star quality. You don't want to be mixing them, as that kind of may affect the final product. So having one keg for starred and one keg for non-starred has definitely helped me progress that blood wine a little bit quicker. If you want to try out alternate crops and grow them, I definitely would, but as a rule of thumb, I try not to sell them in their basic form, as tempting as it may be, especially where I have a recipe or another way that they can be utilized or turned into like an artisan good through the crafting process. If you have unlocked the barn and you've got some animals in there, also remember to collect that fertilizer and use this before you plant your crops to increase their quality, which in turn will increase the item value. There are some pretty basic recipes that we are given from the get-go, and by using these you can simply increase the value of your items. I just mentioned that I was using my seeds that I had found from the dig spots, and some of the common seeds I had received was the tomatoes and the onions. Well, guess what? There is a gazpacho recipe which when you sell the 1-star variation you will receive 180 gold, so that's not too shabby. If you are foraging, also keep your eyes peeled for the eggplants, as they can be used in the farmer's stew recipe, which also takes 2 tomatoes with it as well. Just another way to increase that value, and the eggplants are free, so you might as well turn it into some more profit. If you have unlocked the barn and you've been starting to stockpile the eggs but are in need of some money early on, remember to fry those eggs to get the extra money. This is such a simple step, but every gold counts when you're in the beginning of the game. Whilst on the topic of eggs, these chickens are not your standard animals and they have the chance to drop golden eggs. These eggs are obviously going to be a rare drop, and because of this there is a financial reward as they sell for 85 gold, and this was so tempting to me that I did sell it. I do regret it a little bit now though, as it was actually on my job request board for 255 gold. I maybe should have followed my own advice on this one and have saved one, but I'll leave this up to you if you want to take that risk. I know purchasing a barn in the beginning may feel like a big expense, but it is something that I did prioritize over anything else, and I would recommend that you do the same, as it is worth the long-term investment. You can purchase the barn from Ridge's shop and it costs 4,000 gold. The animals you then buy from Luna, and if you're thinking about how much you're going to need for that first animal, the chickens sell for 1,200 each. I would recommend kind of being sensible with your barn and kind of having a mixture of animals in there, not just having all one variation. The animal drops are going to be a good way to make money, and once you've got your first chickens settled in, Luna will then open up the opportunity for you to have other animals such as the Draculams and the Calcula. These drop milk and the lambs can also drop wool. You can then use these drops to make more money, whether it be through cooking or crafting. I've seen quite a lot of food recipes so far that do require that milk, so it seems like it's going to be quite a heavy cooking ingredient. Keeping with the animal theme, let's discuss fishing. I'm not normally a fishing lover, but I am a bit of a convert with this game. Sometimes you just have to do it for the cause, and the cause here is definitely my bank balance. Fishing does require quite a bit of energy, however, in my opinion, it's worth it for the money you are bringing in. My favorite fishing spots are the one at Moonlight Pines and Misty Shores, but if you see some fish shadows just gathering, I would do my best to try and grab them if your energy allows. Fish do vary by areas and some need certain conditions to spawn, but for the most basic fish, you're going to get about 40 gold. You will see the price increase with the rarer fish, and obviously the higher star quality they are, you will also see a higher return. Just looping back to my earlier tip about cooking, this also does apply to our fishing, particularly early on. I was transforming the violet into sushi, which I would either then sell for money or use it as stamina food. It's quite a common fish and it's definitely worth a chopping for. Now comes with a bit of a word of warning, especially if you are struggling like me. With fishing, I would happily sit there all night and fish knowing that my stamina would almost always guarantee me a fish. I just wish I could say the same for bug catching. I'm gonna hold my hands up and say I have struggled with bug catching in this game. And because the game depletes your energy when you swipe your net, not when you have caught the bug, this is not a guaranteed method of income, and you could end up using quite a lot of your stamina for very little reward. I have been dipping into the bug catching because I don't want to ignore it totally. It is a part of the game, and I have found along the way that some of the bugs are definitely worth worth going for. For example, the white bat from the mines earned me a whopping 250 gold. So this might be one of the kind of examples where you kind of figure out which bugs are going to be worth your time and your energy to obtain over just trying to go for all of those lower tier bugs, which probably might not be worth the stamina it costs if they are harder to try and catch. If you are already a bug catching pro, then go for it, live your best life. I hope you're enjoying it. But currently for me, it's just not a good way to earn gold, and my stamina is such a precious commodity that I really want to hold onto as much of it as possible. So I won't be going on any bug catching expeditions anytime soon to make some money. Another way I have been experimenting with to make money is from furniture making, and so far this does seem to be another good way to make some money. I don't think this method is immediately obvious, but if you are currently at the stage of the game where you're focusing on making money over having a cute farm, then this is going to be a way that you should definitely consider. For this, you're going to need a lot of wood, which obviously does take quite a bit of stamina to obtain, but it's likely that you may be starting to get a good stockpile, and the next thing you'll need is a refiner to make the planks. Just a word of warning, double check the requirements for some of the buildings and upgrades if you are thinking about that, as you might want to put your stockpile of wood into that instead of this. But if you do decide to go down this route, you can obviously sell any furniture you craft. Some of the most simple are the storage crates, which sell for 200 gold and they cost 10 wood planks to make. If you don't have that many planks, you can also sell the barn box, which costs 4 planks to make and sells for 90 gold. In the beginning, you have a number of blueprints in your crafting bench already. I haven't experimented with all of them, and I have obviously obtained some blueprints as I've progressed with the game, but the fiber and the cloth I have found from the dig spots has really came in handy with this, so it's definitely another good thing to consider. I do think that maybe it's not going to be a long-term thing, but if you're just wanting to kind of bankroll some money really early on, then just consider using your wood for this. I briefly mentioned this, but as you move through spring and the story, you will unlock the job board. This is found in the town, and you know you will have unlocked the ability to use it, as there will be a cutscene with the owl. This job board will refresh daily, and you'll receive a number of different requests for things such as resources, crops, cooked items, fish, and Death even wanted a rusty can, each to their own. But it did help me learn that he likes the garbage that you find. So definitely, if you're looking for things to gift him because you want to romance him, think about that. Anyway, generally all of these requests so far seem to be generously rewarding, as the rusty can bagged me 1,000 gold and I got 800 gold for the safe delivery of a bricklefish. I highly recommend that you accept the quests even if you're not currently in a position to be able to fulfill them, as some of them you do have quite a big delivery window for. I've had one for like 7 days, and I think this is definitely going to be one of the best ways to farm the gold and focus on, so that's something I'm going to be doing going forward. A final thing to mention, which I don't really think is a way to farm gold, is that you can actually receive gold from gifts and money in the mail. So this is more just a reminder to make sure that you are checking your mailbox. I was a little bit shocked when my mum sent me 1,000 gold, because I had just run away from home. So I expected her to be a little bit mad, but I'm not complaining at all. And also, if you were a little bit upset that you had to pay for Orlok's tabs, don't worry, you will get that back if you're super early on in the game. So there we have it. There are the best ways I've found to make money in the game. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite way to make money early on, and hopefully we can help out the fellow players. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy playing the game. Bye bye.